might be the won and lost half here for GR Gaming. So let's jump into the pistol. They got 2 sets of Julies on WeQT and Reminder. We've got a P250 out for the Mongols. Standard USPs and the Glocks for everybody else.
Good to see that Mara is performing well. Was a great performer out there in that first map, but a lot of contest could come down here towards A. 3 towards A and inside here at A main. The USPs do heaps. Blitz finally gets away with a trade with that P250 to try and get as much out of it as possible, but Stack up against Stack goes the way of the CT side, and I think it just shows there for the Mongols. You try and go for a quicker A take. There's already 3 CTs, 2 in A main to hit you. You're not anticipating that at all.
GR just tore them apart in a matter of moments, and that's a very positive start in the pistol. Exactly what you wanted to see from the GR Gaming side, the idealistic scenario. The Mongols got caught flat-footed by the mass number of players. That was going to be a chaotic round regardless. I'm so kind of shocked that GR came out as on top of they did. A couple of trades towards the tail end there, but they look very confident to start things off. Forced by back in for the T side.
I'm surprised about this for the Mongols. I think it just shows that they don't want to give much respect forward to their opposition. B pop up from ramp.
SMG standing for a Reminder. Spray through on towards one, only one. 9-10 takes the trade. The bomb can go down from here, and Mediocrity is smoked off from contact, so we cannot deny it. 4 on 4. At least they've got the bomb plant bonus.
A deeper smoke out there towards CT is going to try and allow a little bit more of that time stalling. Looked like 9-10 wanted to go aggressive towards ramp and re-smokes it off. This wastes even more time.
Tech9 overwhelmed by the automatic, but the MAC-10 comes in from the Xeno, checks around the corner, Spray runs out of ammo. The SMGs reign supreme with the CT forces. 1 MP9 is picked up, but only lasts so long for Salo. The defuse should come through. There isn't a kit in play here for these 2 players, but they have got plenty of time, it seems like. So all's well that ends well. Second round of the board of the CT side.
And the Mongols can force buy again. I think when you look at the idea that they didn't drop many casualties and they didn't get a bomb plant in that first round, considering the lack of investment, they've actually done pretty bomb plant. They've got 3 kills. They can buy it up again, and this time it's going to be stronger. You might be able to see an AK and mainly Glils for everybody else.
Bomb plant pivotal to Mongol success. Whether they can make things happen here on this 3rd round. First gun round of this map up. Again, heavy-handed towards that A main control. Fortunately, no one from GR is there to receive them except for QQ God. Seems to be a very fast play out here. It's stalled by the Incendiary.
Now that HE, now even the smoke's going to stall and might even cancel this set completely. And the Mongols are going to have to be wary whether they try and pop through this smoke as well, because the CTs are already on rotate from Donut and from Spawn.
Swing forward, 2 for 2 trades come up. The Mongols held ahead of the sight, and suddenly, just like that, 2 picks come back from the likes of Mazzino. 3 on 2 situation for the Mongols. The plant is secured. WeQT is damaged up to 66. Mediocrity is dead to rights. And so is his backup, Techno, with the final blow. And that is the opening rifle for the Mongols.
And that's just got to feel so harsh for GR. You came away with a pretty good pistol round. The anti-eco came close, but you still got the retake. And then you know they're going to get another buy forward. We can't afford to lose the break. We can't afford to let our economy just shrivel up into nothing. And unfortunately, they went back and forth with those trades. That CT player that came in from spawn and out towards default needed a kill. Could not have afforded to drop there. And in the end, for GR, they find themselves in a position where the double eco status for the majority of players. So buy it up and try and get as much out of the round as possible.
Yeah, the damage compounding on that second round force buy. They took out, I think it was 3 or 4 players or so from the Mongol side. So the economy state really limited by that. The end result, as you mentioned, is indeed the force buys from the GR Gaming side. See what they can bring out here. We're already seeing a deagle for Reminder. There's several players that are extremely hard done by. The 5.7's coming in as well. Mediocrity doesn't have an M4, so he might become the key player in this round.
Yeah, probably set up the rifle for as much damage in as possible, get some of the teammates to be a little bit of a harsher bait. I'd actually like to see an aggressive maneuver here from GR. Either take mid aggressively, try and take lane aggressively, try and take ramp. I think you've got to be on the front foot in a round like this because you really aren't working with much.
Plays in from mid on the GR side, carefully approached upon by the Mongols. Swing forward from Techno, does lose his life, but he sets up Mara pretty nicely. 2 for 1. Sal has been seen by Blitz as well, so they suppress vision. Those individuals over on the donut control will not be allowed a second peek.
And the Mongols know now, freeze this round up, because the CTs are going to get desperate. They're going to start making info plays, they're going to make solo missions, and the MP9 gets caught, so round is pretty much over. Mara has a lot of impact out there to the cheater position, and now B-site's opened up. There's still plenty of time left on the clock. QQ God and Salo, they can hope that there's going to be a split in towards A, but they pretty much just have to save from this point onwards.
Salo and QQ with very impossible task ahead of a clutch. Dealt with is Salo. QQ left to hold on to what little he has left, and he might even get hunted here. They are looking out towards that elbow control. That bomb's not committing to the bomb site just yet. I think Blitz actually might... Okay, I thought for a second he might have DC or something happened there, but he's okay. Everything's all fine and dandy. QQ is trying to prod back into the mid control, hearing some of these footsteps. Might be able to catch that kill against Mara, and indeed, low HP individual goes down, as does Blitz. Okay. Expensive round for the Mongols. How much more will QQ get here? Almost gets MongolZ as well. But he stays alive alongside 910 to even up the scoreboard.
And this is where, for GR Gaming, they'll be in a very light eco. So probably a nade stack, maybe an Astrala stack somewhere. Just play together and get as much damage out of these very low and upgraded pistols as they can. The Mongols will look at that round and say probably did get a little bit too expensive, right? They had a 4 versus 2. They had a lot of time left on the clock. They dealt with 4 kills out there towards the B site. So they won't be too happy with how the round panned out, because obviously their economy state isn't in the cleanest affairs. This is where they can make it much cleaner. This is where they can lose as little casualties as possible and start building an economy.
Oh, nice nade sets and utility in from the Mongol side to start things off against Ski. Through the wallbang spray for Techno, and Mara there for one of his own mediocrity. Does get a deagle shot, trying to return fire with these upgrade pistols. It is a much harsher situation for GR. Not a lot outside of these pistols to play with. Seeing where the mediocrity can now just try and take some more heads with him, continue to keep the expense up against the Mongols. But down at 15 HP, he won't be allowed much of a chance. Blitz there with a closer, and QQ God very far away from doing anything of any worth.
Now the Mongols, I start thinking about that first half performance that we saw from them on Mirage, and that round streak that round by round was getting out of control. And I start thinking to myself, on the T side of Ancient, are we going to see something similar? QQ God is hoping for a Zeus exit. You could even see some of the T-side players there chucking that AK up to make sure that even if there was a little bit of a move in right at the end, that there should not be any chance. I do want to see where that bomb blast does blow it, because sometimes there can be some ridiculous things with where the bomb goes.
But what's less of ridiculous is the Mongols taking the lead. Third on their board. Oh my god, it got high.
It's got up the steps. It's got legs.
It's getting its glute exercises in.
It really, I mean, that would be tough. Imagine doing that every day, up and down.
Oh, even get action.
Oh!
Look at that. Oh, man.
Kickflip 720.
Not bad.
With a pop shove it as well. Done a bit of everything.
Most impressive thing I've seen all day.
Yeah? Come on, go show us something a bit more.
Well, WeQT trying to get very aggressive here to try and show a bit more for GR instead. Tomas of Salo sprayed through onto elbow, knows that someone's ahead of that smoke, and he will be able to kick things off with an opening advantage. But he's been tagged heavily with the counteraction bullets coming in from the Mongolian camp. Mediocrity trying to read on the Techno. Got close. I think he might have heard a footstep or something, because Salo has come up with a secondary kill.
Now this is where Mara has to try and trade, get this player up towards shelf, undetecting another walk forward, a massive timing, at least there's a trade back, but a missed shot from the AWP means that they can't brute force open that mid control. Salo has found so much impact in the round.
MongolZ now being spotted by the jump face of Salo, and everybody else will adjust here for the CT side, take him down. Get a free AK if they can, upgrade that for Mars. And win an all-important rifle that takes us back to evens. They do get a couple of AKs out of that exchange, plus the AWP, and a scoreline of 3-3.
A good round there from Salo, and I think the Mongols can kind of look at that last round and say, all right, fair enough, maybe the spacing wasn't quite tight enough. We weren't able to get players up there at shelf successfully, and Salo got 3 out to mid. So just brush that round off, try and focus up onto the next, but for GR, I mean, this is already looking so much better than it is on Mirage. We've actually got a battle, and that's what we were hoping for in this series.
QQ aggressive here in main. Needs to go massive. He can't do much outside of that first kill. WeQT, also similar story. Trades on both those individuals. And Mara's picked up a second AWP for the Mongolian side. Salo comes up to try to punish that. Techno's down. Mara turns it into a 2 versus 2. Is he aware of Reminder? He might have to be. That Molotov forces him out. Blitz there with a trade back to a 1 versus 1. Taking on Mediocrity and his AK. Vision seen, the shot connects. And the advantage is reclaimed by the Mongols.
Just a complete change of pace. We've seen the Mongols bringing pace in the pistol round to A. This time around, it comes into round number 7. You've got a fast CT smoke being lined up just outside of elbow, so you don't have to wait in and around the left-hand side of the stairs to get that set up. And they come in quick. I mean, that molly out there towards default's really handy. You had Mara out on the big box. You had Blitz out there towards just under tree at A main. And just forcing that individual out in the open, and then the readability to keep the calm, keep scoped in, and wait for that duel to present from CT.
Fast into that B-bomb site, wasting very little time for the Mongols. Overwhelming the pistol players of GR, getting this one over and done with. Plant will be secured, and there is one trade back from Salo. And a follow-up from WeQT. He stuck his way in from Cave. Suddenly, the advantage might turn back against them, but it seems like they've overwhelmed the bomb site, so the retake is back off. The QQ only has a MAC-10 recovered from red.
They might as well at least attempt something. Try and see if you can recover one of those rifles down from bottom lane, or just keep it expensive itself. I mean, 1v2 with a MAC-10, you're not losing a massive amount.
Way too late to get anything out of the retake. He might still challenge a player in red if possible.
Well, there's still that AK towards the bottom of the door, so that's what he's going to probably try and go for eventually.
Takes that face back in from me, just about evades the AK.
Ooh.
Is he going to get there?
Oh. No, no, didn't happen.
Bomb blast strikes again. Sent it all the way outside of the door based on his trajectory of where he went. The end result now is that the Mongols will only concede that MAC-10 to the GR gaming camp. I mean, a little bit of damage also being done by the pistol players, so respectable pistol eco there from them.
And they need a little bit more when it comes to the follow-up, though, because you are right, it's keeping the economy fairly low. This is another fast CT smoke. This is going to be an A-pop again.
Incendiaries to block from QQ God. Follow up there as well. M4 spray through. One man goes down. Smoke on towards the main. Control's got plenty of backup around him. But that one kill has stalled and pretty much cancelled the execution.
No, they have to, but they've got a mid lurk, and this is undetected right now. Salo goes down. This could be the opener.
QQ's been tagged. Salo defends himself, and Blitz is the man that is the victim. 9-10 comes up with 1 and 2 picks that equalizes it to a 3 versus 3 situation, offering themselves up, which is why you give that little comment of dismay, because that would have been GR Gaming with a 2-man advantage had they just held their tongue for a little bit.
Yeah, this is very winnable now for the Mongols. I mean, right there, you've got a 5 versus 3. The re-smoke comes in. It's got a gap in the left-hand side, and they're just eager. And now another eager kill comes through, and this is when it starts getting out of order. Salo out towards mid is alone by himself behind the molly. They already know he's here. Can they get the trade? Yes, they can. Mediocrity, the last one down towards A, and they know that he was the A player.
1 on 2. Question on the minds of the Mongols is, have they misread a situation? Do they think he might have rotated? Do they believe that he might still be on the A site? They seem to have indicated themselves that they believe that A not going to be as well defended as they might seem. And Mediocrity does get back onto the donut entrance. I set of the big box, 20 seconds remaining. Mara might give himself up. Oh, he's just barely been seen. Mediocrity comes up with that pick. Time's a ticking. Incendiary to deny any chance of the bomb plant. Techno's got to go for the kill here. Out to the back lanes of the site. He's found a safer angle. Snuck behind the Molotov somehow. Mediocrity now waiting for a chance. The flashbang indicates exactly where Techno is. Mediocrity going for the face. The engagement with a spray is 1 out for the 3K from Techno 4K. And a 6-3 lead now for the Mongols.
And I want to say it right here, right now. That round has just cost them the game. Simple as that. I'm calling it already at 6-3. You can't afford to lose rounds like that against the Mongols. This is a team that's caliber is so much higher than the level that you normally participate in. If you're giving away rookie mistakes and schoolboy errors, you're going to get punished. That was a perfect chance for a reset round. The economy was in tatters for the T side. 5v3 gets thrown away, and now you're down onto an eco. Now they can rebuild the money float on T side.
Yeah, that's pretty disastrous, I think, for the GR Gaming side. When you think as well, they had a 5 versus 3 situation, right? They threw themselves away with those engagements out towards main. And the follow-up round does not look any more pretty for them. They do get that one trade again out towards the back lanes of the B site, but ultimately they are falling apart. The plant's been secured. There's no true room for a retake of QQ God. Maybe an exit. There's a few players that are tagged. In terms of the round and the half, it's going the way of the Mongols.
And it's something as well with MR12 that we're noticing a lot more, which is rounds are so much more crucial in certain impacts, in certain scenarios. QQ God can try and at least save an AK, but I doubt that's going to happen. HE doesn't quite bounce the way that he would have liked, but you got players down here at bottom lane, so getting out to shelf is going to be quite difficult, and eventually he starts to move, and it just doesn't quite work out. 7-3, Mongols are stretching this lead even further, and you think for GR, they were able to get 4 rounds on the city side of Mirage. Look at what happened in that case, right? Like, they were able to at least, or 4 rounds on the T side, I should say, but it was 4 rounds and a half, and it wasn't even breathing room. You got 1 more round from that point onwards, and I think we're going to be looking at a very similar situation.
The thing as well, it was the CT side that they started on here and now, so, like, this may have been their key opportunity to do major damage to the Mongols, and that's just really not happening.
It was also the one that showed us the majority of success against Lin Vision yesterday.
Yeah. All that potential that we saw from the past not applying in the present, although they are still going to give it a good old go. 2 kills coming out from the QQ God. 9-10 is there for the AWP trade and the follow-up against Sallow to take out the backline rotators from CT Spawn. Mediocrity walking his way in from Donut as the Mongols try and hide a little bit of cover. They do lose that AWPer, so it is the man advantage back for the T-side forces. Techno siphoned off from that mid-lurker Blitz, who's come in very, very late here. Needs to win this fight against Reminder, but his back is turned. He's seen a second perfect chance to strike back to the 2v2, buy some breathing room for his teammate, who can now rotate into the B bomb site if they so desire. And that seems to be the call.
That's a very good call, because Techno was able to get into Temple there. Because he doesn't even take a fight towards CT, Blitz can just call, get that rotation forward, and he can even cut rotates. He can cut the CTs trying to get up towards Shelf.
Got to face on Mediocrity soon enough. 2-on-2 situation. Blitz. Slow walk, gonna catch him, spray through, man down, WeQT. Slowly but surely making his way into the bomb site. Has that smoke. Put it out to the cave entrance, but Ramp is a key concern because that's where Blitz is holding from, and his peak gives the info to Techno 4K. The spray back through that smoke, connect the kill, connect 8 as well for the Mongols.
You can just see in the last couple of rounds, especially with those A-pops, those late lurks from Blitz are finding a lot of impact. Now, you've obviously always got to try and time it right, and I think a lot of people can look at that scenario and say it was a little bit too late, right? Like, it wasn't in a position where you could kill players from Donut and assist the A players, but it was in a position where, because he gets one and doesn't overface again, it creates other options. It creates that pathing into the B site. Oh, here it is again.
Smoke set. 1 man to hold the site. QQ, a hell of a task against 5 players that are about to face him. Let's see what he can get out of it. Techno goes down. 9-10, very fast trade. He has a little bit of time for backup to rotate in with the GR Gaming crew. WeQT especially already ahead of the smoke. Gets Mara down to a 4-on-3. Makes it too, as 9-10 wasn't ready for that. Blitz picks up the AWP and does apply it to contact. And now needs a second player over at Temple, which is exactly what he'll get. And meanwhile, the slow walk in from mid from Sallow is going to get cut down by the next. And Mediocrity, all that remains in a 1-on-2 situation, caught off by the AWP. And a 9-3 score. Mongols look as dominant as ever for a quick closer again in the second half after the break. Looking as good as ever for the Mongolians, a 6-round lead over GR at the turn of the half, and that may well have been GR's best half in this one. If they go 4-0 from here, then I wouldn't be shocked to see the Mongols take over this series in a very dominant fashion. Pistol round, USPs versus Glocks already. GR look to try and start off on the right foot.
Kikugo getting a pick out towards A as well just opens up a great pathway for the A split. The rotation in from CT is going to take some time. They've got to try and come through from Donut as well.
Engagements against two other players tagged up very heavily on the Mongols side. At least there is one trade from Mizuno, but he's also got his coach Mara at 5 HP to try and hold on to this 2 versus 4 situation. And that's all a mid lurk coming in from Mizuno to set up for this retake. Doesn't seem like it's all that likely for the Mongols. So again, GR are going to start off this half on the right foot, like they did with the pistol in the T side, or the CT side rather as well. Seems to be all theirs today. A little bit of a bonus, a little bit of a survival moment, one that was kind of needed, I think, from the GR side. They will take number 4.
Well, it shows that they've been pretty consistent across the last couple of best-of-3 series with pistol rounds. That's where they've actually shown us the majority of work that can be pulled through and at least to allow some success rounds. The issue that I have is that all we've seen from GR Gaming in terms of round success in this map so far is pistol, anti-eco, 1 rifle round, and now a pistol again. That was a 2-0 start, and then it just got out of control. And you start looking here, yes, you've won pistol. How many rounds can realistically be gained? I mean, even if it's a full USP save here for the Mongols, and they get the rifles into the next, you think to yourself, well, that could be Mongols getting 10 just in the next round.
Fast rush in from mids. This won't quite end up being the round where they do secure double digits, of course. Not like it was expected that they would do. Arshiriko mowed down by the rifles, the SMG getting taken out by his own teammates, so not all that great of a reminder. A little bit of damage sustained with the lost Kevlar and such. But 3 players do stay alive here for GR as they get to number 5. The Mongols will have their bye.
Now, this is where the Mongols can focus up and get this game over and done with, close it out, and not allow what happened to Lin Vision to happen to them. I think we definitely saw that the Chinese team maybe took a couple of 2 rounds, a bit laxed and a little bit having some fun, and it ended up getting quite close and ended up losing out the map. So I think for the Mongols, just making sure that they hammer down these last remaining few rifle rounds in the half and just get a close victory. Make sure that it's replicant.
Execution on the A site. Mongols nowhere to be seen, will be entirely suppressed from the site itself, but we'll get some decent shots to reminder, and actually 9-10 creeps ahead towards the back lines to get that kill. WeQT gets 2 though, Blitz out in the open, Manic Spray is doing so much damage and eventually gets 1 pick back. Mara gets involved to make his 2 kills happen in the back lanes, and Salo is all that remains. 1 versus 3, he's caught that first, needs 2 more, bombs on his back, he's being flanked in by Techno in from main to get number 10 for the Mongols.
You just look at that entire round from the Mongols. They start 3B and they start 2 mid. So they're playing like a retake A setup. They want to try and take map control elsewhere, and it's an A pop. And oftentimes that's kind of the worst position to be in. When you want to go aggressive in mid and B, you don't want an A pop because it could just be a 5-on-5 retake. But look at what they did to deny that. Rather than giving the respect to the bomb plant, they fight aggressively through CT from default. Blitz fights aggressively in from Donut, and it just wastes a lot of time. And then eventually, when you get that lurk from Techno 4K coming through from main, the T's are just never going to expect that in the end.
GR just overwhelmed by the buy status here. CTs have allowed them to get access to the B-bomb site. They'll get the kill onto Reminder, though. It's best maybe a bomb plant bonus if Mongols get their way, and it seems like they are getting their way so far. 2 picks found. They have missed out on WeQT, who can strike onto Mizuno. So that's 1 pick back. And a second one for the AK picked up by the next. 3 versus 3, make it 2, however, as Mara gets involved with his teammates, does lose his life. Tech9 won't last long for mediocrity, and WeQT is going down the same. Some very manic takes of the site and some very manic defensive on the retakes themselves. The Mongols are the ones coming out on top here.
There's definitely a lot of chaos being created, and I think it's being created by the Mongol side. You could feel on that B site they were quite happy to play the respect of at least allowing the bomb plant to go down, but as soon as they set up the retake, they're not messing about. They're getting into long quickly, they're setting up the backstab from bottom lane and into ramp as fast as possible. GR Gaming can at least buy up again. They made it expensive, they got another bomb plant, The issue is, when are you going to break the economy? When are you actually going to come through with a round success? Because that's what they're desperate for right now.
We've only got 2 more to go against the Mongols, who are closing in on the victory very quickly. It is going to be another fast play in. This time they have a central site defender, and already there's been a kill from Blitz. Reminder, and Salah got a couple picks back here, and the Galil in the back line is overwhelmed. Several players low. The MongolZ are going to try and deal with them. However, Trades and QQ keep it back in a 2 versus 2. With Blitz being low, he'll burn to that Molotov, and the bomb's on its way back to A as 9-10 is known.
He wanted to reposition to get himself back out towards ramp. He can start realizing now that he hasn't heard anything, hasn't heard the bomb go down, so it should be a shift out towards A. This is not going to be an easy clutch to win at all.
Swinging in the incendiary will not force anyone out of position. He's cleared out that big box angle. A smoke for the bomb. Surely he wouldn't be able to get this ninja defuse on it. Tapped it once. East side. Nades on. Mac-10 seen him. Information revealed. There are no secondary HEs. He's going to stick it. He's going to stick it. Oh, just dealt with by QQ God. The spam eventually comes forward. There's a 3K for him to bring home that number 6 for GR.
I'm actually surprised that the Mongols had 2 central site defenders when all we've seen is pops. You would think that from the CT perspective, because they've kept liking this aggressive approach, that playing slightly more defensively like they've done previously has warranted a lot more success. In fact, they get caught on the bomb site there. The last thing you want to do is double up at pillar when the quick X is coming through, because you're just getting lined up. You're being forced out with all the flashes. And GR Gaming make a very good mid-round decision to shift that bomb towards A as well.
WeQT continuing to apply her onto the Mongols, who are down to force by status to that last loss. 1 M4 on Blitz, scouts and upgrade pistols for everybody else. GR try and usurp Mongols in the last quarter of this map, but WeQT is caught off by Blitz, so that's 1 trade back of that M4 and a couple of rifles that the pistol players could theoretically grab.
A reminder, trying to see if he can work out from elbow once his smoke clears. The Mongols have got that M4 to work with for Blitz, and he might be on for another.
Didn't quite spot Reminder. Sallow seen Techno, and the swing from Blitz can make it a 3 versus 3, aware that that bomb was out there in the elbow control. Scouts now prodding has seen mediocrity. His AK versus Scout and pistol. They really need that M4 to come in and support, or do they? 9-10 hitting heads. Now making it a 3-on-2 for the Mongols.
Oh, that's a nasty shot with the Scout. That's not an easy one to hit, especially while crossing. His teammate does fall, so the Scout's still up, but needs another.
Doesn't connect it. It's all on Blitz now for the 4K. Molotov ahead. He's going to just make his way ahead of it. Take a lot of damage. Next fight's going to be difficult. He needs to win desperately. The headshot, no. Salo makes it a 3K. 7 on the board of the GR camp, who are starting to try and close the distance against the Mongols, especially with no true buy here in round 19.
It's not going to be easy, is it? Like, you might be able to at least close the gap, but to get yourself in a winning position and getting yourself into a threatening position, it's going to take quite a few rifle rounds. And here for the Mongols, they can harsh the ego, they can look to get a strong buyout in round number 20. And for GR Gaming, they need to use this round to keep as many players alive as possible. The last thing you want to do is start losing 2 or 3 players to a buy like this.
Very fast from these pistols, trying to overwhelm with numbers. Game actually do find a couple of kills for it. QQ unaccounted for, so can get a double up. Trying to make it a triple, and somehow they're still getting these picks in. He's down to 3 points of health. That Deagle in a prime position to get the kill. The USP actually finished the job, and the AK ready for the next. Burst through the headshot. They're looking to get mediocrity. Mongols, a harsh eco steal! In the midst of the chaos, they come up with match point!
I don't know what to say, Jay. 4 USPs and a Deag have just got series point. Oh, that's hard to watch. That really is for GR Gaming, because that's the worst outcome possible. You're not looking to lose many players. You're certainly not looking to drop that round. All-out chaos. You've got guys over-fighting out there from shelf. I mean, even the Mac-10 that put the molly out there towards Cheetah, it looked like they didn't even realize there were mass players going to elbow.
This is going to hurt. Because GR, when they had the broken buys to their favor, the Mongols now reinstate themselves with guns versus the pistols, and Mac-10s coming in for some players from the GR side. Look at the HP of Salo and mediocrity. They're a hair's width away from death, and that's exactly what they'll receive. 2 picks back. Reminder, trying to keep it at evens. And they do actually find a pick up towards red, so it is a 3 versus 2 situation. Is it going to go further? Not with his backstab. 9-10 dealt with by mediocrity. Mara there, the coach, the super sub, unable to close this match.
Maybe committing to the spray for a little bit too long there from Mara. I actually thought 9-10 was going to get more. You look at that position, that he's got bomb territory, that he's backstabbing in from elbow. With the low HP, with the players where they were, you're thinking that he multi-frags, but a very quick turnaround shot comes through from Shelf to deny him only one. Okay, both teams probably winning rounds they shouldn't do. That one was at least a little bit more favorable for GR. And they've given themselves a chance. 4 more survival rounds to claw it to overtime.
They've done better with Was on the buy status. The harsh eco came in only a couple of rounds ago, and this time they got upgrades and M4s. Unfortunately, the early engagements have not worked the way that they wanted them to here for the Mongols. Techno down, 9-10 on 33 HP. Would be best to pass that M4 off to Mara if he can find him. Or any of the other players for Kevlar for that matter.
Blitz, tough duel up against the Mac-10. Does get that immediate headshot. Reminder, has the M4 so close to him. How much can he find? Only one.
3 versus 3. M4's done his work. Blitz.
Another backstabbing elbow. Check this out.
Secondary of the SMGs. And it's going to come up good. QT down and out. QQ at range looking to try and fight against the AK. The Mac-10 comes up with extra support. And it's all on mediocrity. Mongols, another broken by Steel to close out this map up. Surely GR wouldn't concede to this. Mediocrity has free reign of the B bomb site. So that's where he'll go.
And Mara can get a rifle down there in mid. There's no issue about that whatsoever. Both players with armor. And a Molly and HE for the retake. Yes, the bomb plant can go down, but this looks promising. Very promising for the retaking.
Lean in. Try and account for Blitz, but don't overextend. That could cost you. And indeed it does. Good night, GR. 13-8 for the Mongolian team as they go up and pretty much secure their place within the top 6 at this particular juncture. A 2-0 series for them. They look lights out for the most part, and even though the scoreline was closer on this Ancient at the end of the day, it's still a very good result for the Mongols.